a moment to reflect on the first week of the Trump presidency. In his first week as president, Donald Trump signed his first executive order starting the rollback of Obamacare. He took control of the nuclear codes and declared January 20, his inauguration day, the National Day of Patriotic Devotion. His White House spokesman lied in his first press briefing by saying the inauguration sizes were the biggest in history, and a senior Trump advisor defended the lies, saying they were alternative facts. He ordered the National Park Service off Twitter after retweeting images comparing Obama's and Trump's inauguration crowds. Trump planted staffers to cheer and applaud at a speech he gave to the CIA. He bypassed anti-nepotism laws to hire his son-in-law, Jared Kushner, as a senior White House advisor. His office confirmed that he would never release his tax records. President Trump withdrew America from the TPP, a multinational economic deal that's been 7 years in the making. It's alleged the president allowed his businesses to take money from foreign governments, which this week saw him face a new lawsuit for breaching the Constitution. The president repeated the claims that the election suffered from mass voter fraud. Specifically, he raised concerns about people being registered to vote in 2 different states. And while there is no evidence to suggest that voter fraud exists in the millions, this week it was revealed his White House spokesman, whom I mentioned earlier, is registered to vote in 2 states, as is the son-in-law that I mentioned. It was also revealed this week his youngest daughter, Tiffany, his White House strategist, Stephen Bannon, and his Treasury Secretary, Stephen Mnuchin, are all also registered to vote in 2 states. And he reinstated a global gag rule which cuts all US funding from international NGOs that offer and counsel women on abortion. The next day, his party passed a bill that permanently bans American women from using federal funds or private health insurance towards abortion services. He vowed to cut funding to violence against women's programs, as well as national arts and humanities, legal services, minority business development programs, public broadcasting, and the Office of Energy Efficiency and Renewable Energy. Trump's administration removed the Spanish version of the White House website and deleted pages on civil rights, LGBT rights and climate change. He overturned the ban on 2 major oil and gas projects the protesters claim could contaminate water and destroy sacred land. He ordered a total media blackout on the Environmental Protection Agency, the Department of Agriculture, and Health and Human Services.
The federal government is actually the provider of some of the most important and accurate data we have. And this data is not only important to scientists, it's important to business people. Businesses make decisions on the basis of this data. It's important to local governments. And if there is any messing around with government data so that there is less of it and it's important stuff to have, or that it's no longer reliable, this is bad for everybody.
He also imposed a hiring and regulatory freeze across government agencies, except for the military and some public safety sectors. President Trump drafted orders to temporarily suspend America's refugee intake with an indefinite ban on Syrians. He also announced plans to halve America's asylum program. He drafted plans to suspend new visas for people from Iraq, Iran, Libya, Somalia, Sudan and Yemen. The President also drafted a plan to open CIA black sites around the world to reintroduce torture as an interrogation technique. President Trump moved to redirect allocated federal funds to start building a $20 billion wall on the southern border. After Mexico again refused to pay for that wall, Trump tweeted a suggestion to the Mexican president that he cancel their upcoming meeting. He did. Trump then flagged a 20% tax on imported Mexican goods in order to recoup the cost of the wall. President Trump announced that he will publish a weekly list of crimes committed by immigrants, and he stripped federal funds from US cities that provide sanctuary for illegal immigrants. He also laid the legal groundwork for mass deportation. And that was week one.
Kind of assembled.
I'd like to punch him in the face.
Start by answering the question that's on everyone's mind. Yes, this is real life. This is really happening. Who is excited for my inauguration day? Yes, thank you to those people over there who I definitely did not pay to do that. And we have got some of the biggest performers in the world lined up. Hold on to your tits and bits because we have got 3 doors down.
Donald Trump had an interview with Sean Hannity on Fox News last night, and when asked about what he thinks about Saturday Night Live, President Trump said, quote, "It's a failing show, it's not funny, Alec Baldwin's a disaster, he's terrible on the show, and by the way, I don't mind some humor, but it's terrible."
We want to say to the President of the United States, grow up, Mr. President.
La 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 la, can't hear you. La 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 la, can't hear you.
We are having too many bizarre moments with this new president. You have been elected to be our president. You want the big numbers? Unite our people and be the leader of all the people of this country. Something very disturbing is going on here.